All right, you guys need to check out this interaction because it gets heated. Every single time the cameras start rolling at the Fox News studio for the 5, Jessica Tarlov is like a lone warrior charging into a battlefield of MAGA enemies, and today was no different. She had the enormous task of fact-checking all 4 of her MAGA co-hosts live on air, and it gets heated at multiple moments. The pushback becomes very strong, but that is what is needed, especially on Fox News. Now, to lay the groundwork, Donald Trump attempted to visit Georgia to provide relief to people suffering from Hurricane Helene today, but it came off as a cynically opportunistic campaign stunt more than a heartfelt visit to a state that is in a state of crisis. We'll talk about that more later, but that is where the argument began on the 5 today. We have 36 days to go until the election and 0 time to waste. Make sure you drop a like, comment a blue heart, make sure you're subscribed, and let's jump in with this clip of Jesse Waters that started it all.
Getting outclassed. She's getting outworked. And when they ask in these polls, which candidate cares more about people like you, he's completely closed the gap. Now, as a Republican, especially as Donald Trump, caring more about people like you. I'm not saying he's winning, but he's right there, Jessica. Would I recommend her doing?
You got to appreciate Jessica Tarlov fact-checking him right there, because Jesse Waters is wrong. He's claiming that these polls say that Americans think Trump cares more about them, but the polls say the exact opposite. This poll from a month ago from the AP, which is an A-plus pollster, says Americans give Harris an advantage over Trump on honesty and discipline. Nearly half of Americans say that, quote, committed to democracy and quote, disciplined are attributes that better describe Harris. About 3 in 10 say these qualities better describe Trump. But here's the kicker. About 4 in 10 say Harris is someone who, quote, cares about people like you, while 3 in 10 say that about Trump. About 4 in 10 say honest describes Harris, while 24% say that quality describes Trump. Honestly, those numbers are still too close for comfort, but Jesse Waters is completely wrong, and Jessica Tarlov was totally right to fact check him. Now, in this next clip, Jesse Waters is being a sarcastic asshole about Georgia, which is in a state of crisis.
What I recommend her doing is maybe you get a little paper towel like this, like he did in Puerto Rico. That's what the people want.
That's what Donald Trump actually did today, and it is embarrassing. And let me tell you, Jesse Waters is being a sarcastic asshole in this clip. He is making light of a situation that is rather serious and making light of Donald Trump's constant, consistent extortion of these serious situations. Now, this next clip is where it gets actually pretty heated. We see some strong pushback from Jessica Tarlov as she pounces on all of her Fox News co-hosts.
Jessica, how do you see it? Dramatically differently from how my colleagues see it. So just a couple notes. Trump closes strong in Georgia. He lost Georgia. So I guess if someone had found him 11,237 votes, it would have gone better, but he's a loser there.
I meant by
campaign
activity.
Oh, he shows up a lot and people see him and then they vote against him. Starlink, there are 40 satellites that are already going. In Maui, by the way, the $700 was the FEMA limit. So Donald Trump and his supporters are running the same old tired playbook that they did with Maui and they did with East Palestine. So not only was Joe Biden on top of this, he signed the disaster declarations even before the storms hit to make sure that there would be no delay in goods and services. Donald Trump's social media posts contain blatant lies, like Governor Kemp can't reach the president. Governor Kemp gave a press conference yesterday where he said, I just spoke to the president. He has promised me every single thing that I need. McMaster from South Carolina, also a conservative, getting everything that he wants, and then Roy Cooper as well. And there's only one president that we are talking about who actually has denied relief for one of these states. In 2017, Roy Cooper asked after Hurricane Matthew for a lot of money, and he got 1% of his ask. They denied 99% of what he was asking for after that hurricane came. There are 3,300 FEMA personnel there, 5,500 National Guardsmen from 11 states, and search and rescue from 19 states. That doesn't reduce the devastation of this and how horrific it is, but to say that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are out to lunch during this, or they're sitting on a beach reclining there, they are clearly giving them what they need. They will be showing up when it is appropriate. And it's different for Donald Trump, who is not in office. He's just a guy trying to be president again to show up and throw some bounty at people versus someone who's actually the commander in chief and doesn't want to distract from what's going on. And as Dana said, Governor Cooper said, I will let you know when it is appropriate for you to come. And same goes for Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee,
Yeah,
all of it.
Tennessee also.
It is so much fun to watch Jesse Waters and all of the other Fox News co-hosts squirm as Jessica Tarlov goes off on them. They know for a fact that they are on the wrong side of this issue, and Jesse Waters would rather be a sarcastic, pompous asshole than be serious. I mean, look at Gutfeld right here. He knows for a fact that he's wrong, and Jessica Tarlov made a very, very good point when she referred to this. North Carolina denied 99% of federal recovery funds for Hurricane Matthew, and this was in 2017. North Carolina will receive less than 1% of the federal funds it requested to cover damages associated with Hurricane Matthew, which hit the East Coast in October. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper said Wednesday the federal government authorized $6.1 million of the more than $900 million the state had requested and that the state needed. Keep in mind, it was largely because Roy Cooper was a Democrat and Donald Trump was a Republican, and he's so petty. So spare me the BS saying that Donald Trump actually does care about the people at the border. It's, again, a vacuous, cynically opportunistic opportunity that he's taking to boost his campaign. Here's Jessica Tarlov going off more.
Some kid. I mean, you know, he's not a.
I know you don't like him, but you can't change the fact that
Change
he's
what
running.
fact?
Well, let me finish my sentence and then
Go
I'll
ahead.
tell you that he is running to be vice president, that he has the highest favorability of anyone on either ticket. And you continuing to demean him and call him assistant coach Walls and say he's stolen valor and he's a loser and he doesn't know about clean air.
Who hugs a mascot like that, Jessica? He embraced the mascot like it was his mother.
We've all seen you use a straw.
Who puts
There is footage of you using a straw. Your masculinity shtick.
You know, why do they
That
call
was
him?
for television. I
of your
don't use
lipstick?
straws in my private life.
This might be what Jessica Tarlov is referring to. Jesse Waters apparently has a very odd history with drinking out of straws very weirdly. In this clip, Jessica fact-checks her MAGA co-host about the DHS numbers, and this might be the mic drop moment here.
He has moved over to demonizing immigrants, even legal ones like the Haitians, or taking the numbers that we were talking about on Friday, the number of, quote unquote, convicted murderers, rapists, et cetera, and saying this is all Biden and Harris's fault. And to the extent, to speak to its inaccuracy, the Department of Homeland Security had to release a statement saying that the ICE figures were being completely misinterpreted, saying the data includes individuals who entered the country over the past 40 years and also includes people that are in jail, not people who are out there roaming the streets. And that's obviously a key piece of information in this puzzle. And the American public is smart enough to know that the narrative that Donald Trump is putting forward does not accurately represent what's going on. It doesn't mean there aren't problems, but it does mean that they want more nuance than they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, get them out.
I couldn't find the counter numbers to what ICE had released, and I definitely looked for them.
It doesn't matter. The numbers are.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
Because on Friday when we talked about this, the idea was that this was a Biden-Harris problem. No one said, except for me, I think, that this covers the entire timeline.
What Greg Gutfeld is missing is that there aren't counter numbers. The numbers are actually factual, but the time range, the time frame, as Jessica Tarlov is saying, is much longer than they originally thought. There aren't counter numbers or real numbers. The numbers are real, but they're over a 40-year period. But the broader point here is, Jessica Tarlov made it, that Donald Trump has to con the American people. He has to lie to the American people in order to gain their votes, because he can't do it in an honest manner, because he has nothing real to offer. If you guys appreciated this video, if you enjoy what I do, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, have a great rest of your day, and peace out.